Hello everybody, it's Josie here. I need to start this video with a disclaimer. I am quite ill. I've been ill for a while now, a few days. I think it's a cold, it might be the flu, but I wanted to kind of get out of bed and do this video because it is already February and I was planning to film these videos before I got sick, and this is about the two kind of really important readathons that I'm taking part in February. So they're both a month long, and the first one is Feminist Lit February, which I took part in last year, and that's like something that's really close to my heart, so I'm doing it again this year. And the other one is FF February, so it's Female to Female February, and it's all about celebrating female-female romances, which is another thing that is very close to my heart. So I did want to kind of get this video out somewhere at the beginning of February to tell you what I'm planning to read through the month that meets the challenges for both of these readathons. So the first one I'll go through is Feminist Feb. So this book was already on my TBR, and that one is Vox, and this is in the category feminist fiction. And what this one is about is that it's a dystopian reality where women have been restricted in how much they can speak, so they can only speak about 100 words a day, and you know, kind of what that does to society and what that does to these women. So I think this is going to be really interesting, really thought-provoking, and probably quite difficult to get through in some parts, but I'm really looking forward to that one. Then the next one is some feminist non-fiction. So I have picked this book, which I found in a charity shop, which I was really pleased about. It's Bridget Christie, and she is talking about her life. It's called A Book for Her, but it's basically about her and her comedy. So for those of you who don't know, she is a comedian. She's very witty, she's very funny, she's very much feminist, and this kind of talks about her experience on the comedy circuit, her life, and I think it's going to be a nice, funny read. It might be a good one for when I'm lying in bed feeling rubbish later on, just to make myself laugh. I can't even laugh. And then the next one that I'm picking is for the category of own voices. And this is this one over here. It is Slow River by Nicola Griffith. Nicola is queer, so that falls in the own voices category, and this is a piece of sci-fi. And again, it's about a band of women, I believe, kind of in a dystopian sci-fi type of future. So I think that's going to be really interesting. I'm kind of really into that genre and trope at the moment, so yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this one, and it is a bit of a classic. And then the last category, which I don't have the book yet for because I haven't been able to go, although I don't think it's released yet in the UK anyway, is On the Come Up by Angie Thomas, and that is in the category of reading a book by a black female author. And Angie Thomas's first book, The Hate You Give, was one of my absolute favourite books of last year, so I'm really looking forward to her new book, but I'm on the pre-order. It hasn't been released yet, so I don't have a physical copy with me. But those are the books I'm planning to read for Feminist Feb. And then the other one I'm taking part in is this one over here, FF February Reads. So that's, like I said, female to female. So this is all about lovely female romances. And the first one I've got here is for historical fiction. And this is a Sarah Waters book, Affinity. I think most people are familiar with Sarah Waters. She writes great historical fiction, queer, gay, lesbian ladies. And this one is about a spiritualist who's in jail, and I think that sounds really, really cool because I love anything to do with spiritualists and that kind of thing, so I'm looking forward to reading that one. And the next one is to read sci-fi, and I have picked this, A Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers, and I have been dying to read this. I've been meaning to read it. I haven't gotten to it. I thought, perfect, we will throw it in for this reading challenge and I can get to it. So this is about a group of people that go off in a spaceship away from Earth. So again, I'm kind of into the sci-fi dystopian kind of otherworldly theme at the moment. Maybe it's all the medication, but that's what I'm going to read for that category. Then the next one is actually two books by the same author. And the first one I've got here is Notes of a Crocodile. Now I'm going to murder her name, but Maijin? I'm so sorry. And this is for Own Voices category, because she is gay. And the other book I have actually is this one here. So it's Last Words from Montmartre, and she writes quite semi-biographical novels. I think this one is I think this one's going to be more difficult. This is in part a suicide note, I believe, but it sounds really, really, really interesting. Is Taiwanese descent, so somewhere that I don't read much from that part of the world, and it's just supposed to be really, really good. And this is definitely on my list of books to read in the first half of 2019. So I'm glad to kind of get to these two as part of the readathon. This one is for my own voices category, and this one is for my short story or novella, because this book is actually quite short. I think it's like only 150 pages long, so I think it suits the novella. But I'm really looking forward to these two, and I'll give you more of my thoughts because I kind of want to go into them a little bit cold, so I'll give you more of my thoughts once I've read them. Then the next category is to pick something that I think is going to be a 5-star prediction. And that's that one over here, Fried Green Tomatoes at the Whistle Stop Cafe by Fanny Flagg. Again, one of my must-reads for the first half of the year. And it's basically a woman in a nursing home, and she's telling the story of all these characters from and around the Whistle Stop Cafe in this town in the American South to a younger woman. I think we're in the 80s when she's telling it, and most of this takes part sort of in the 30s and 40s and 50s. So I think it's going to be really good. A lot of people say this is a brilliant book. Some people have seen the film, which is supposed to be really good. So looking forward to that. So that's my 5-star prediction. And the next one I've got here is, this was from our 2018 TBR, and it's Wild Girls by Diana Southamy. This is actually non-fiction, and it's basically the lives, kind of all the sapphic lives of the girls in Paris, kind of like in the, oh God, we're talking about sort of the pre-war kind of era in Paris and around the artists and the writers, and it just sounds like it's going to be a load of fun to read and see what these girls kind of got up to. So I'm hoping it's going to be a bit of a fun romp through the Paris art scene, which I love, and kind of the sapphic Paris art scene, which is even better. And then the last book I have before I pass out and I need some water is to read an author that's new to me, and that's Abby Rushton. And this is Unspeakable. And this was actually bought on the recommendation of Hannah Tay. She talked about this book and it sounded really gorgeous. It's a female-female romance. Don't know too much else about it, but first of all, the cover. Let's appreciate that gorgeous cover. Yeah, so that's all I needed to know. It's a female-female romance. It looks really beautiful. Hannah really liked it, so I'm reading it. And that's my TBR. So like I said, I'm going to go lie down again now. Have a good rest of your day. I hope you're feeling better than I am. And enjoy February reading. I'll speak to you all soon. Bye-bye.